Hey everybody, this is Teo, the blind bassist. It's the day after Christmas, and I decided I would make a video thinking about what holidays have been like after vision loss. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel. Please like and subscribe to see videos where I blog about being a blind musician, share with you some of my music making process, and some cover songs and things of the nature. So please hit that notification bell and like and subscribe. Also find me on Instagram and Facebook as the blind bassist. Woke up yesterday, Christmas morning. I'm feeling a bit nostalgic and also very grateful. I woke up a little bit early, normal time. The dogs wake me up at the same time every day, so I was hoping to sleep in, but that doesn't usually go as planned. So to wake up and have the two teenage boys and the 10-year-old girl still asleep because they'd stayed up the previous night playing video games together and having a good old time, and gave me time to sit and relax in the quiet, having my coffee and thinking how wonderful it was to wake up surrounded by family, and got me thinking how lucky I am. So I guess I'll start this blog with the ghost of Christmas past. Christmas was always a little bit of kind of a complicated time for me growing up. I always loved being around family, and that part was always amazing. My family, I've always loved spending time with them. So many of us, typical Mexican-American family, I guess. Well, my mom's side, very Catholic and very into traditions, American Christmas traditions, actually. So it was always Christmas songs going and always a good time. My father's side, my father actually was a Seventh-day Adventist, so he was against the idea of celebrating Christmas. So Christmas was always, as a child, kind of a strange time, because there were times when he was being extra strict with the religion where he wouldn't allow me to receive gifts because it was against his religion to accept Christmas as a holiday. So I don't know, but it never seemed that bad to me, because like that old Stevie Wonder song says, like, even though sometimes I would not get a thing, I'd still be happy with the joy the day would bring, just being around family. But Ghost of Christmas Past, after losing your vision. And at the time when I lost my vision, I was living in near downtown Houston, and my family's from a small town just outside of Houston, which about 35 miles or so. But when you're blind, 35 miles might as well be 1,000. I know some of you know what I speak of when I say that. Sometimes 3 blocks can feel like 100 miles when you first lose your vision, especially before you start acquiring those skills. So after first losing my vision, and granted, I was 30 years old, which should have been the prime of my life, and I was always never good at asking for help. So I think, the powers that be had the wisdom to take my vision to give me this lesson in humility. So there were some Christmases where I would spend them entirely alone, because I was too ashamed to ask for my family to inconvenience themselves to come pick me up. And a lot of them probably didn't even know, because I didn't really share much of what I was going through when I was losing my vision. And I know from being an admin of the Blind Visually Impaired Forum on Facebook groups, that there's a lot of blind people out there that have a lot of sense of loneliness. So that's something that we need to address, and something that I think takes time to overcome. For me, it was really, I'll be honest, it was the first 3 years of my blindness, I was probably miserable to be around. I didn't even want to be around myself. I just wanted to be depressed and hate the world and sleep a lot. And I think that's a common thing for a lot of us that have had normal vision most of their lives and lose it, especially those of us who lose it somewhat suddenly. So waking up this Christmas, we'll go now to Christmas present. It's amazing. Christmas Eve, and I'm lucky to be married into a larger extended family than I already had. So, and being an only child, and now having in-laws, brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and getting to spend Christmas with them and my little niece and nephew, that was amazing. I really loved it. And then Christmas morning, like I mentioned earlier, anticipation of the kids waking up and getting to spend Christmas Day with them, and then going to see my family. We went to see my 99-year-old grandmother who helped raise me a lot, who was always there. I grew up, actually I slept and shared a bedroom with her for many years as a very small child, and I'm lucky to be able to still go visit her and my father and some of my aunts and cousins on my father's side, and then we went, I saw a family friend, and then to my mother's house, where they still try to keep the traditions strong, and still everything nicely decorated, Christmas music going on, of course NBA on the other TV, because that's also a tradition. And it was a very wonderful Christmas, and I think back to those days when I was, and a lot of people that go blind sometimes will have this, it's harder sometimes to be around people who knew you when you were fully sighted, and then you lose your vision. And that also takes a little time to get comfortable with, because you almost become a new person in a lot of ways when you become a visually impaired person. And it's sometimes hard to explain to people who haven't been through it, but those of you that have been through it do know what I mean by that. So another thing is, yes, it's harder, and sometimes it can sadden you when one of your cousins comes up to you and you're not 100% sure that you recognize their voice, and like somebody you grew up with, and like, how is that okay? And they will understand and accept, of course, because especially a lot of family, noisy house, but still you get those feelings sometimes, and sometimes I wish I was a little more assertive, which brings me to the last part of my video, the ghost of Christmas future. For this video is especially for my blind community. So what I learned through those first few years of my poor vision was that not only is it harder to be around people, it's harder for the people that knew you before you lost your vision to be around you now. They don't always know how to respond, and we always have to keep that in mind. And it's really hard when we're going through the initial phases of vision loss to understand that, because it's so difficult for us, we forget how difficult it is for our loved ones too. So any of you going through this, and I know I saw another video from another visually impaired person, I'm sorry I forgot whose video it was, but they were talking about feeling like you're set at a table with the kids and the dogs, and then everybody else goes off and you're too afraid to get up and try to socialize and just kind of feel out of place. I don't want you to be that way, and honestly I was that way at first, but it's even harder. And if you're not an extroverted person, if you're naturally an introverted person, it's going to be extra hard for you, because as a person with any disability, but especially visual impairment, because it's hard to see facial cues from people, so communicating becomes very difficult. So you have to act on faith and go out there and be gregarious and put people at ease, make jokes. I know it's hard when early on in your sight loss and it feels so tragic, but if you stay in that tragic state of mind and thinking about all the things that you're missing, you'll miss the things that you still can enjoy, like the sound of children when they receive a gift they really love. happiness in their voice, that joy in their laughter. You can't forget about those things like that. The smell that come with the season, whether it's the live tree or the food or the different perfumes of all your family members, and just enjoying the snippets of everyone's conversation that you can pick up. And if you are too uncomfortable to put yourself in those situations, yes, there are going to be lonely days. So what I want you to do is try to be assertive. And if you don't have direct family, and I hope everyone up there has someone to talk to. There's many of us that have spent many times alone. And what's great about the internet is, you can come to our Facebook group if you need support, and there's always someone. We have people, over 8,000 people from all over the world. So 24/7, there's somebody on there that you can speak with. But you have to be assertive, and you have to say, hey, I want someone to talk to me. Hey, could you talk to me? Sometimes it's really hard, and I still struggle with it constantly. I do. But I make this video not just to help you guys, but help reinforce to myself these principles that I've taken to live a fulfilling life as a blind person. I didn't think I would ever get married. I've been married for, we got married in 2017, June 2017. So a couple of years now and a couple of Christmases. It's amazing. And if you told me 8 years ago that I would be this happy on a Christmas, I would have never believed you, because Christmases were especially hard those first few years. But times change, but you have to be willing to make those changes, and you have to be willing to be more gregarious, more outgoing, and take those leaps, and don't be afraid. So, all right, sorry if I rambled a little, still trying to decide what kind of content to make. Thank you so much. I've been doing this for about a month and already up to over 65 subscribers at last check, over 1,000 views. Amazing. I thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe. Please comment. Let me know what kind of things you want to see from me. I just made my first lesson video previous to this. Planning to do a vlog about once a week or so. See if we'd like this. If not, I can make another channel for vlogs and make a separate channel for the music things. Just let me know what you'd like. I'm making this channel to try to inspire other people with disabilities or other aspiring musicians to start creating, and also to keep myself honest and make sure that I'm constantly creating. I had a writer's block issue, and I stopped playing music for several years while I was adjusting to my blindness. And slowly but surely, I've been reacquiring the skills I had before my sight loss, and have actually been acquiring more skills. So getting my piano playing better, my vocals have improved significantly. In fact, soon I'm going to make a video about the things that I'm actually better at now that I have sight loss. So thanks again. If you made it all the way through this video, you're a fan, and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. So please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.